Sumerians in South America. I have just written a new book, Ancient Scripts in South America, the Sumerians in South America. In this book, I tell the story of writing in South America. Ancient Scripts in South America is a very important book. It is the first book that details the literacy that existed in Peru, Bolivia, and Brazil when the Europeans came to South America. The Sumerians colonized Bolivia, Peru, and gave South Americans the Sumerian script. The ancient Sumerians were great navigators. Sumerian ships sailed to Egypt and the Indus Valley in search of metals and goods to support their industry and popular demands for goods by the people. King Sargon in 2700 BC mentions the lands that made up his empire. In a document written by an 8th century BC Assyrian official, the document states that Sargon I's empire included the countries from the rising to the setting of the sun, which Sargon the king conquered with his hand, including amongst many other lands the land of Gudium, the land of the Muru or Amorites, and the Tin Land country which lies beyond the Upper Sea or Mediterranean. Professor Sayce said that Tin Land in Sumerian was Kugaki. The Sumerians probably first made contact with Kugaki via the Atlantic currents that take you from Africa to Brazil. Prospectors probably reached Brazil and sailed down the Amazon River until they found large tin deposits in Bolivia, Peru. Here we can see a map of probably what we could call Kugaki. Kugaki was the western tin land of the Sumerians. It is interesting to note that rivers extending from Brazil go all the way to the Lake Titicaca. This means that the Sumerians could have come from the Mediterranean Sea into the Atlantic Ocean, sailed to Brazil, and made their way to the western tin land. Once they established mining operations in the area, local people probably began to work in the mining operations and adopted many Sumerian customs, linguistic terms, and the social technology of writing, i.e. the Proto-Sumerian script. This means that writing has a long tradition among the people of Bolivia, Peru. J. Bailey in Sailing to Paradise maintains that the area around Lake Titicaca may have been called Lake Manu by the Sumerians. According to these authors, the Sumerians came to this area in search of tin. They support this view by a discussion of the Sumerian traditions that Sumerians set sail to the land west of the Mediterranean that they called the Tin Land of the West, or the Sunset Land. It is interesting to note that a major center for mining in Bolivia, Peru is Potosi. There is other support of the early presence of writing in South America dating back to ancient times. Mosley published a number of inscribed Moshe bricks and a Tiwanaku portrait head. The characters on the Moshe brick and statues are identical to the Pocotia writing. The people of Bolivia and Peru wrote many texts in the Proto-Sumerian script. Writing was widespread throughout Bolivia, Peru. Here we can see writing that's found on the mentas of the Inca kings, the Punta Magna Bold, the Pocotia writing on the back of the Pocotia monument, inscriptions found throughout South America that the Mande left. Yes, there was writing throughout South America. Here are symbols on the 7 Inca kings' toga, and symbols on the Pocotia inscription. Look carefully. As you can see, these signs and symbols are exactly the same. There are many South American inscriptions. This includes writing from the Pocotia statue. It is interesting to note that the name for the oracle or the Pocotia statue was Potaki. Potaki is very close to the name of the site, Pocotia, where the artifact was found. This suggests continuity between the name of the oracle and the contemporary place name found in Peru. Other writings in South America include inscriptions on the Punta Magna Bold. Sumerian signs on the Punta Magna bowl are comparable to Sumerian writing and also some writing from the Vai script. Here we have the Incas' king. The Incas also wrote Proto-Sumerian signs in their weavings or mantas. These mantas were used to record Incan history and were governmental documents. Here we also see a comparison of signs from the Punta Magna and Toga signs. This is startling evidence that we had continuity between Sumerian writing from the Sumerian times of Sargon I all the way up to the Inca period. Here's some more symbols on the Otabo Inca and Pocotia symbols, and as you can see again they compare favorably. It's interesting to note that the Pocotia statue and Tiwanaku monument share similar headdresses and rib impressions along the chest area of several monuments. The people of Bolivia, Peru, before the coming of the Spanish, left us much evidence of their literacy on paper and stone, as you can see in these photographs of South American writing. Aymara terms relate to Sumerian terms. This is not surprising given this decipherment of the Pocotia statue, and the Magna Puente bowl indicates that the Sumerians had established many aspects of their religion in Bolivia. The linguistic evidence supports the view that many of these Sumerians were miners. The Sumerian term for copper was urudu. This term agrees with the Aymara term for gold, uri, and copper, anta, or yauri. The similarity between urudu and yauri and uri suggests that the Sumerians may have been the first people in the area to exploit the metals found throughout the Titicaca area and Bolivia. The presence of Sumerian terms in the Aymara language and Sumerian writing on the Punta Magna bowl and Pocotia statue make it obvious that Sumerian civilization was formerly widespread in South America. This leads me to believe that Bolivia and Peru may represent the Tin Land of the West, mentioned in the Sumerian inscriptions. If this is true, ancient Bolivia, Peru may have been called the Sunset Land by the ancient Sumerians. Read my new book to find out more about writing systems of South America. Again, the name of my book is Ancient Scripts in South America, the Sumerians in South America. You can order this book at Amazon.com.